So finally, my favorite part, how to use Excel to analyze the situation. So here you see this file 1.4 example 1 copy. I want you to download it. Here we'll find two tabs, wait time before improvement and wait time after improvement. So let's handle the first tab first. So here you will see the time periods from when the customers start waiting. And this is the real wait times. The category is either acceptable or waste. In my case, the acceptable wait time is 5 minutes, although it's going to vary from project to project. So if it is less than or equal to 5, then it is acceptable. So if it is not less than or equal to 5, means the customer is waiting longer than expected. So I just want to put that formula here, and the way I'm going to do it is using if function equal to if. So once you type in the formula, you will already see the arguments they want you to put. So the first one is bolded, means first one is the logical test you want to put. So if this one, I click on the cell, this one is less than or equal to 5, G10, that is the cell reference, it is acceptable. So just in the quotation mark, I will put the text acceptable. Otherwise, it's a waste. So make sure the spelling is the same as in the category here, acceptable and waste. Because it's Excel, it won't be able to figure out if it's a different text. For example, if I put here small letter W and it's a big letter W here, it will not be able to match. So make sure it's the same text and press enter. So the first one is less than or equal to 5, means the customer is not really waiting for too long, which is acceptable. So once I am done with this formula, I can fill in the rest by just going here and double clicking. But one error is that if you double click, it will read the wrong values. I will show you why. So that's why I intentionally made the mistake. The first one, so if you click here on the formula, it's highlighting the cells, say this one and this one. It's using to see if it's acceptable or best. What about the second one? Go to the second one, click on the formula. It's using this one and this one. Is there anything here? How come it's using this one? Acceptable wait time is supposed to be cell G10. Why is it using G11? Something is wrong. What about the next one? It's using this one. Is there anything there? No. So what is really happening is that when you did the first formula in the first cell, it's using G10, and then when you double click here to fill in the rest, it's automatically taking these cells, which is not good. So I will fix this cell G10 here. How to do it? Just highlight, just click on the G10 part, and see there's a dollar sign. Once you press F4, there's a dollar sign before G and before 10, which means it fixed the cell. Now, if you fill in the rest, it won't take these cells anymore. So I will again redo it, double click here and see these are acceptables. Now I will count how many of them are acceptable. The way to do it is use countif function. It's counting based on a certain criteria. So that's why it's called countif. So countif, the range is obviously this one because I want to count how many are acceptable. And what is the criteria? The criteria is F4 acceptable. And then bracket close, enter. So how many are acceptable? 4 are acceptable. So again, before filling in, you have to absolute reference these cells because I don't want to change the range of cells. If I just fill in for this one, you know what will happen? It will select this cell. So I want to absolute reference it, press F4. And then this one, double click here. So again, go back and click on the formula to make sure it's using the right cells. So it's using this cell and the range of cells. Go to the second one, what is it using? Click on the formula, it's using the west and this one, which is good. So 16 are acceptable, 4 are unacceptable. Next, calculate the average wait time by simply using this formula. It will already show you in the drop down which formula to use once you type in AB. And you have to select the right formula from the drop down. So for the average, simply you want to calculate the average of the wait time. So for the number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on, just select the right range here and then press enter. 7. Average wait time is 7. Standard deviation is, remember this, STD, and then it will automatically show you the formulas, recommend the formulas to use. Just choose this one. Standard deviation of population, P stands for population. And for the number, again, choose this one. Bracket close, enter 1.6. So this is our result. Now we will interpret the results. What does this really mean? So the acceptable threshold is 5 and the average wait time is 7, which is not acceptable. The standard deviation is 1.64 minutes. So what is it saying is that the standard deviation is 1.64. Now 1.64 is a small number, means the wait times are fairly close to the average 7. But is it still acceptable? Although it is consistent, means the wait times are fairly close to 7, it is still not acceptable. Why? Because the average wait time is more than the acceptable wait time, 5. Category analysis, acceptable wait times, only 4 of the total entries here are categorized as acceptable. Now, is it good? Because out of the 20 wait times, 4 are acceptable and mostly it's not acceptable. So it is not good. Waste, 16 entries are categorized as waste, meaning 80% of the wait times are longer than what is deemed acceptable. Suggested threshold limits, given the average wait time of 7 minutes and the goal of improving customer satisfaction, a more appropriate threshold might be acceptable wait times 5 minutes or less. This would align with customer expectations for quick service in a coffee shop. So we want to reduce this number, average wait time. Waste threshold, any wait time over 5 minutes should be considered waste or targeted for improvement. So possible ways to improve. Now we'll see how can we improve the situation. Implement a faster and more efficient order taking process, perhaps through mobile orders or self-service kiosks. Pre-preparation, prepare common orders in advance during peak hours, reducing the time taken to serve these items. For example, in a coffee store, if let's say regular coffee, everyone wants regular coffee. So I mean, that is a very common item. So if you keep those items already, wait time is going to be shorter. Staff allocation, increase staff during peak hours. Allocate more staff during busy periods to handle the increased customer flow, thereby reducing wait times. Cross-training, ensure all staff members are cross-trained to handle multiple roles, allowing them to assist where the bottleneck occurs. Technology integration, order management system, implement a system that tracks order progress and provides real-time updates to customers and staff, ensuring that delays are minimized. Customer flow monitoring, use data to predict busy periods and adjust staffing and preparation accordingly. So in the second tab, let's say after implementing the solutions I presented to you in the last slide, we improved the situation and these are the new wait times. So let's again do the same category test, equal to if wait time is less than or equal to acceptable wait time, absolute reference it is acceptable. Again, make sure that the text is the same as this one in the category. Otherwise, it's a waste. Autofill the rest by double clicking, equal to counted. How many are acceptable? So first select the range here and then put a comma and then the criteria is acceptable, enter. So again, absolute reference these cells, F4 and double click. Average wait time is equal to average of this wait times. Standard deviation, let's select this one. Standard deviation of the population is, select the whole range of cells and swan.